Hey y'all, welcome to Reflecting Divinity. So for today's pick a card, I have 3 stones for you to tap into, and I will go through them right now. So for pile 1 or reading 1, we have Ocean Jasper, and it is very cute. For reading 2, we have Kambaba Stone or Kambaba Jasper. And for reading 3, we have Tree Agate or Dendritic Agate. And all 3 of these called to me, and so I picked them, and then I thought, well, I want to give you a little bit more to tap into if you'd like. So I am going to read from my book, which is this book, The Complete Crystal Handbook, and I'm going to give you a little bit of information for each one if you would like to use that to help you decide. So for reading 1, Ocean Jasper. Ocean Jasper is full of positive, gentle, nurturing energy that helps anyone who wears or holds it regularly to develop self-love and empathy for others. And its emotional healing benefits are that it allows gentle and gradual release of pent-up anger or emotional blockages. For reading 2, Kambaba Jasper. Kambaba Jasper strengthens those whose hearts have been deeply hurt by sudden rejection or abandonment in love, to see ways out of the darkness emotionally, and to deal logically with what must be resolved. And the emotional healing that it helps with is it brings peace and tranquility to troubled minds. And for reading 3, Tree Agate or Dendritic Agate strengthens family connections. Use dendritic or tree agate to call estranged family members home by keeping a crystal next to a photograph of the person who has gone away, protective for travel by air or car. And the emotional healing that it offers, it brings peace to a troubled mind, heals the pain of unhappy childhood or the effects of divorce. So, take your time to let your intuition communicate with you which reading is meant for you today, and I will see you at your selected reading. Hi, reading 1. If you were drawn to the Ocean Jasper, this is your reading, and we will begin with good old tarot. And I'm going to ask Spirit for 3 cards, with the first being where you are currently at, the second being where you're headed, and the third being the guidance to help you either stay on the path where you're headed, that trajectory, or guidance and support to help you hone in. And I want one at a time. I keep kidding. Okay. That one wanted out. A lot of sword energy. And what is the guidance? Okay. So we have the Five of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Page of Cups. So first off, with the Five of Swords, representing where you're currently at, what you're dealing with, there is this challenge of you are facing some current wins and some current losses. A lot of mixed up feelings and thoughts about this, in that you can kind of see both sides. And I feel this is connected with the Two of Swords because there is now this understanding that the situation that you're in now was not what you necessarily expected, and the outcome was not nearly as clear and straightforward as you may have hoped. And then there's this sense of being really caught up in the mind, and you're ruminating on this and being unsure of how to move forward with this. And with that Two of Swords, it does seem like there's going to be a period of time where you are going to be pondering what to do next with what has happened, with the information that you have been given, maybe what you have given to someone else, and maybe they're the ones dealing with some of this realization of what feels like information or data, but it definitely has led to some disappointment for some individuals here. And so whether that is with you or people around you, you can see both sides, and that's what Spirit is wanting you to take your time in that space, that there is some processing to be done, and that because of the back and forth and complexity of this situation, Spirit is saying it's okay for you to need the time to process this and to come to terms and to let the dust settle, is that what's coming to mind, and to practice stillness and withhold judgment for this time being. But Spirit is letting you know that you, even though you are very much in this mental energy that can be taxing and challenging to you and just not super clear, that you can approach things still from a creative angle, from a more lighthearted angle with the Page of Cups. And that the message I'm getting is that you can show up as the Page of Cups, that you can be lighthearted, and you can bring the humor and curiosity to things, that it doesn't have to be completely stoic is what I'm getting, and like there's maybe a somberness. It just feels like a serious situation, and it's not about being disrespectful, but Spirit's helping you to use your skills, your strengths, to bring back some joy and pleasure and curiosity to this situation. And I'm being drawn to the moon in the Two of Swords, and the sense of going deep within, letting your unconscious, your subconscious speak to you and tap into the quality of the moon, the energy of the moon, and the shifting in the phases of the moon to guide you in experiencing all levels of emotion, letting it come, letting it go, whatever you are feeling in the moment without judgment. More from that curious perspective, more of a pondering, a wondering than a ruminating, worrying energy. and that you're kind of meant to go with the flow here. We have true love, energy, and we have transformation, cycle. We have a 4 and a 5. Again, 5 energy. There's some challenge and shifting and change. It's a bit mixed up, that energy there. So there is this shifting happening, and I am being drawn to this card and the representation of true love, that it is a reflection. And so Spirit is reminding you that the deepest, truest, purest love is a love that you have for yourself, that is the foundation, and this is the time to accept it, is what I'm hearing, to accept yourself, to accept self-love, and to let go of resistance to it. It's like you're having to face that aspect. And I am getting the message around accepting yourself, even your perceived flaws, even mistakes, that Spirit is calling you to practice the forgiveness within for yourself, for your soul, and to withhold judgment on yourself. And actually, this can be a starting point where you withhold judgment in either direction. You just come to a neutral place of observer, objective observer. And you can recognize where, maybe there were some, times where things got messed up, things were miscommunicated, and it could have been done better, but it's the way it happened. It's life, and you can work on forgiveness and making amends where necessary, but it's like not about, I almost want to say like doing too much or going too hard in either direction. You don't have to be inauthentic in this time with these people just to, make a point, prove a point, or show up a certain way. Like, don't let perfectionism and preconceived ideas and expectations get in the way of this potent time of growth and transformation. And I'm getting a message around love can be neutral. It can be, and it's not in a bad way that it's neutral. It's just, it can be a bit separated. You can love people in your life, but not get caught up in their issues and struggles to the point where you are caught up in the, crossfire is what it feels like. We have keepers of the earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Yes, you are supported in this. We have dance with life. Do something to change your energy. Yeah, so there is this allowance of different energy, a different approach, a different perspective in how you see yourself, how you feel for yourself, how you see others, and how you feel for others. And there is a shifting out of what could be for some too much like responsibility for other people's issues, struggles. Again, their challenges that they are meant to experience that for themselves. And you can absolutely hold space for them. You can be that light. You know, you stand beside them like your ancestors stand beside you, your guides stand beside you, and that you are bringing that light to the earth with your awareness. You can support people by being there, by reflecting back to them what they are emitting. Like sometimes that is the best medicine, is to have someone reflect back to you what you may not notice about yourself. And you can be this for them. Again, it's like a neutral observer. But if this has been kind of, I want to say like plaguing you, like it's been getting to you, it's time to come back to neutral and figure out how you want to feel. And with that Page of Cups, it's Spirit saying, be curious. Don't put pressure on yourself to feel or behave a certain way just because you feel like you should show up in that way, whatever it is. To be a bit more playful, right? To be able to dance and shift and move with the energy, to go with the flow, with the rhythm, the phases of the mood, the phases of the moon, and your mood. That, again, that shifting of what you are feeling and experiencing, it's like going along for the ride. You have, I'm ready to go big, rise up, and step into my power. So this period of time is that chrysalis energy. It's that transformation energy that is bringing you up to the next level. And there is still a little bit of that, I want to say patience. There's that neutral point where you are just letting it unfold. And, I like this. It says, my high vibe thoughts create health in my body, peace in my mind, and love in my heart. Yeah. Like dancing with life, movement and rhythm and flow. That is absolutely impactful for, how you feel in your body. That's going to show up in your mind as well. So getting things moving and flowing from a state of neutrality will allow that peace and loving, compassionate energy to flow in and occupy your physical body, your mental, emotional body. Energetically, you will feel that shift, that transformation. And I really feel like it stems from just observing and being curious, reading one, that you really are powerful from this point of intuition, as well as justice is what I'm getting as well with the Two of Swords. There's that sense of justice as well as intuitive, balanced with the logical. The intuitive knowings and the logical knowings. And you bringing both of those in and coming from a balanced, neutral place. I'm also just getting a message around using your thoughts, your awareness of your thoughts to create a protective shield or force field around you, to consciously use your thoughts and the words that you tell yourself, about other people, the world at large. Use them like spells to help you build that neutral space, safe space around you. And I'm also getting some message around like putting your feelers out, like the swords almost going out like antennas and picking up on new frequencies. So that could be a meditative practice. And it is about just staying neutral and allowing those new frequencies to come in. Tap into other perspectives and see how they feel for you. And if it's not quite right, you release it. But it is a practice, and it's not a job. It's not meant to be work. It's meant to be a fun game, is more what it feels like. An adventure rather than a chore. And either way, it's about, again, being curious. I feel like I'm just, reiterating that over and over. But let's see what your final message is. Oh yeah, we have higher heart activation. Dropping shields, divine love. Your heart is healed. That's so funny because I was like, around you like a force field, like a shield. But it's like you're allocating your resources, your internal resources, to no longer be about like defense and having to, go into like offense either. It's not about that. It's more so you're just maintaining your space, your boundaries. So that way you don't have to shield your heart from love, shield your mind from peace, because you're also trying to keep out the, negativity or spiraling thoughts, that type of thing. It's like you can be in neutrality and not get swept away by too much in either direction. I really feel like that is one of the key parts here, reading 1. So I'm going to read from the book for higher heart activation. The higher heart chakra is the most ascended form of the heart chakra. It's found in the center of the chest, in the heart region, and is seen clairvoyantly as a pink color. The reason that this energy center is pink is because it's the opposite or complementary of green, which is red, with the white light of spirit. Through this stargate of the heart, we have the potential to connect with divine love, the love that exists in all things, and experience the heaven within. This card transports us to the higher heart space, where we can recognize that love is not an external essence, but a light we hold within. It has been there through every lifetime. When the higher heart becomes active, it's a recognition that the search for love has ended and the excavation of the heart has finally begun. Place your hand on your heart and affirm, I am love. Love is my truth. Love is my inheritance. I allow love to be my experience. I am love. You have experienced much fear, separation, and heartache in your lifetime. This has encouraged you to close off and shield yourself from possible hurt. For a long time, you've been trying to open yourself back up, but have been concerned about being far too vulnerable. This card shows you have realized that love isn't something you have to work for or search for, but your divine inheritance. You have also recognized that this energy isn't something that comes through relationships or external experiences, but it is your natural state of being. The more you close off, the more you close off from your true self. The more you drop your shields, the more love is revealed. The more you express the love you are, the more it is reflected back to you. Love is your truth. Yes, reading 1. Yeah, you're moving from that place of, heartache and strife and mixed up, complicated feelings and emotions, and you're just getting to a place of stillness within and without, and you're like taking back your power through your love for yourself, which then you can project out to others. So this is really a time of healing and transformation to give yourself grace, be gentle with yourself in how this is unfolding, that it can't be rushed, to go with the flow, that there's going to be times of more movement and then less movement, but that is what makes this a rich and valuable time for you and the people in your life. So stay curious, stay creative, reading 1, and be in that place of love, and however that feels right for you in each moment. I hope this reading was helpful for you. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more from me, then please subscribe. I would love to have you here. I appreciate you. I wish you all the best. I give you my love. Until next time. Bye, reading 1. Hi, reading 2. If you chose the Kambaba Jasper, this is your reading. And we're going to start with tarot, and I'm just asking Spirit to bring through 3 cards, with the first being where you're at, your current situation, the second being where you're going, and the third being the support and guidance for you. So we're starting off with where you're at. You have the High Priestess. Oop. My goodness, you have the Emperor. Whoop. And all right. Spirit has spoken. And you have the 8 of Cups. So some powerful cards right off the bat. Reading 2. With the High Priestess, there is this... Oh, and you have the Hermit at the bottom. I just saw that. Stood out to me. So maybe you're coming out of a time of finding your path, going within, and now you're kind of stepping into that role, in that throne, both in the spiritual side of things, the intuitive side of things. You are awakening to more. And I feel like some of you are going through a spiritual awakening of sorts. And I feel like we go through these phases. And so whether this is your first spiritual awakening or if it's more of a spiritual deepening, this could be happening for you, or you're experiencing your intuition in new ways. Things are showing up differently. There's development there, or there's just change there. Not necessarily for better or for worse right now, but you are seeing that play out in your current situation. And so it does feel like Spirit is saying there is that potential development or up-leveling as far as how you are presenting it to the world with the Emperor. I am feeling this is stepping into your own authority and figuring out how you are going to utilize your connection to the other side, to your intuition, even if it's just that you are intuitive in your day-to-day life. How are you going to work this into your showing up in the world, particularly as a leader or an authority figure of some sort? And there is a message here around, I'm just getting this, especially with the Eight of Cups being some of the guidance, is that in realizing your deep wisdom, that connection with your intuition, you may realize that some type of connection that is more in the realm of authority, patriarchy, a figurehead of some sort, that you may realize this isn't for you anymore. Whether this is a person or more like, I don't know, a company or even just a way of approaching life, maybe it is too rigid for you. So that different messages for different people and for where you're at. So just allow what resonates for you. Reading 2. But either way, as you're discovering this awakening or deepening spiritually, you may have to figure out what is supporting you and what isn't. And maybe what used to be supporting you and what felt right for you. But now you are questioning. There's like that little seed of, this doesn't quite feel the way it used to for me. And why is that? And the good thing is you do have that deep well of wisdom and the ability to see things from all sides. And it's about coming to terms with what you can live with and what you can not live with anymore, that you can't work with it. And it's not about, whether it's good or bad, like these, whether it's expectations or kind of like rules or standards, even like scheduling, I'm feeling for some of you, it may just not work anymore for you. And it's not because it's wrong or bad. And it's okay to walk away from something, even if it was good in the past, even if it's still good, like objectively, but it just may not be right for you anymore in particular. And maybe you do just feel like you're being faced with something, a very new situation, and you're not sure where it's going to lead. And especially with the Eight of Cups, there's that energy of like, I don't know where I'm going to end up, but I'm walking towards something. I'm taking a new path and leaving something behind. Yeah, you have spirit with the vast universe. You have 1. So you have 1, 2, 4, and 8. It's kind of interesting. You're like doubling, actually. Yeah, it's like 1 and 1 is 2, and 4 and 4 is 8. That's kind of interesting. That just stood out to me. But you're taking that path that you don't know exactly where it's going to lead, and it's like, it's so full of potential. It's the vast universe. But it's like taking one step at a time. Reading 2. Okay, you have another 4. That's so funny. Okay, and it's also another spirit card. So a lot of spirit energy, spiritual energy. You have the angels of the 4 directions. So there is this, I feel them coming in. Archangel Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel, all coming in and surrounding you and protecting you in this. And they are helping you get in touch with what the Emperor represents for you, how that is showing up in your life, and empowering you. I feel you calling them in. And, they are saying, call us in to support you in all directions. We are It's like that we're the pedestal for you, that we are meant to serve you and your mission in this lifetime. So be on the lookout for angel numbers, particularly 444 or 44. Just keep an eye out. We have a leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. Yeah, you're jumping out into the vast universe, the unknown, the adventure of that. It's Fool energy. And you're supported and protected by the angels. I mean, they're right there with you. So it's like, yes, you will take a leap, but your angels are right there to catch you, to be there to support you, to uphold you in this new path, this new like revelation is what it feels like. We have take a break, a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Yeah, okay. It's the Eight of Cups and like the moon, the crescent moon being there. That is telling me that, yeah, there's finally some, it could have been a sudden realization that something just isn't working for you anymore. And you have to like take charge and be like, you know what? I am going in a different direction. I am choosing something different. Even if I don't know what it is, but it is breaking off. It is, you're breathing, you're jumping into more, but it's not defined yet. And so Spirit's saying there is going to be that little bit of time where you're separating from what was more regimented into something that's still percolating. It's still moving and transforming and taking shape around you. And that's okay. That this can be a time of like being in the void, right? Being in the vast universe is essentially like going into the void, because there is always much more space. I think, I'm not a scientist, but I think there's much more space than non-space out there in the universe. Okay. We have, I am ready to go big, rise up and step into my power. Yeah. And reading one also had this card. So this is definitely about y'all are having realizations and coming back to your own power. And so that makes sense with the Emperor, with the High Priestess. Yeah, you're taking that step in that up-leveling, in that shifting. You're taking it back. You're taking back your power. We have, today I consciously choose to think loving thoughts, take compassionate actions, and bring forth peaceful energy. Yeah, that is important because it is this time of awakening and deepening spiritually and recognizing your power in that connection and understanding of the world, and knowing that you have soul authority reading to, and that is powerful. It is creator energy. It is all that resource at your fingertips, ready to be woven into reality, and to be conscious of that you can make these choices and shift your life and shift the world around you. And each time that you make a decision to come from compassion and carry that forward, that affects others. It makes change. And that's why, the angels are here at your side, because they're helping you with this mission, this calling. I am getting a message for you to take more time out in nature. If you can, get outside and enjoy nature and plants, in particular, being with the trees. I am feeling that very much for you, reading 2. So let's see what your final message is. We have Akashic Records, clearing old stories, releasing past lives, freedom. Oh yeah, this makes sense because you are doing that deepening of your spiritual connection and your spiritual understanding. So let's see. I'm going to read from the book. The Akashic Records. Akasha is a Sanskrit word that means ether or sky-based, and as explained above, the Akashic Records are a compendium of universal events, experiences, and lifetimes held in the spiritual realms. Helena Blavatsky, one of the founders of Theosophy, described them as indestructible tablets of the astral light. We can visit the Akashic Records in dreams, visions, and meditations. When we are transported or guided to connect with them, we are being given the opportunity to take an inventory of our life and all the events that have taken place in it, and to gain information on past lifetimes. Ask your angels and guides to direct you to the energy of the Akashic Records. If you are feeling stuck or unsure, ask the records to reveal to you any essential soul lessons or information so that you can fulfill your purpose during this lifetime. When you draw this card, the universe is releasing you from past experiences. These can be soul-based memories, fears from previous lifetimes, or older aspects of this current lifetime that you have moved on from. Know that this is the time to reclaim your freedom and rewrite your story. You can do this by following through on your dreams. Gone are the days of fear-based indecision. This is the time to rise up and claim your truth. If you are sitting on a dream or are feeling called to move in a particular direction, it's because you have unearthed an important soul lesson, and it is essential for you to follow that call to clear unwanted energies of your past. As you do so, don't allow yourself to be pulled into expecting the worst possible outcome. Know that this expectation is not your truth, but old energy being released from your energy body. Call in angels to shine their light on any repressed fears, energies, or stories that are no longer serving you. It's time to fly high in freedom. Yes, reading 2. You are meant to take that leap, to jump in and have that faith that spirit will catch you, that your angels will guide you in the direction that is meant for you, that you don't have to know the full story, right? You are just trusting each moment, each inspiration to carry you forward. So it takes a lot of trust, and that's where the fear can come up. But Spirit is supporting you and telling you that you're really built for this. That you know, even if it's subconsciously, because you've done this before. And so some of you are probably being called to tap in directly to the Akashic records and explore that in a way that before felt like somehow unachievable for you, but you are just having this blossoming in your intuition and your connection to spirit. And it's like, don't hold back, is what I'm hearing. So I hope that this reading was helpful for you. Reading 2, if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, then subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I'd love to have you here. I wish you all the best. I give you my love. Until next time. Bye, reading 2. Hi, reading 3. If you chose the Tree Agate, this is your reading. And we're going to start with tarot. And I am asking Spirit for 3 cards. The first being where you're at, what your current situation is. The second being where you're headed. And the third being guidance and support to either continue on the way you're headed or to allow you to shift and change directions. So, okay, I feel this is wanting to come out. Oop, that one too. That one's stuck. All right, so let's see what we've got. Oh, goodness. Okay. Oh, okay, this is a bit heavy, but don't get scared. There is something that you have been experiencing and going through that is weighing on you and really causing you stress and worry. But Spirit's saying that you are headed in the direction of that coming to an end. The active suffering is coming to an end, and the light is breaking through with the 10 of Swords. It can seem like a heavy card, but there is that aspect of it's over. It's over. And so you're moving into that. And I had seen at the bottom of the deck, and I want to just show you, you have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is showing you that beneath this right now is a shifting. The wheel is turning, that you're headed in a new direction. And you see that with the moon. And this situation that has been this heavy for you and stressful has, what I'm hearing, the word unlocked something within you. There is going to be new expression and realization from within. It's a soul learning, a soul deepening. It's something is coming to the surface, and this feels exciting. And which I wouldn't normally necessarily associate that with the moon, that type of excitement, because it has more of a mysterious tone to it. But this will be exciting for you. And to remember that as you're in this situation and it is winding down and there is the peaking of the light starting to come in, that this is shining a light into something within you that is wanting to come to the surface and be expressed, and that this is the exciting part, that it has that opportunity to bring you more abundance. So to recognize that this is an opportunity to go deep within. Reading 3. Okay, interesting. Right off the bat, the angel's coming in for you. And it's funny because reading 2 had that card. And I put it within the deck, so as soon as I start to shuffle, it flies out from the top somehow. But the angels are coming in to support you in every direction, in every way. They're showing up for you, and I do feel that it would be helpful to call in them specifically, to get in that habit of that, and to ask them to show up for you, even in, the mundane day-to-day, moving through life, that they are ready and willing. They're already there, but it's like they just want even more responsibility to help you, to carry some of that. No way. Okay, so I don't know, guys, I shuffle, but you also have the other card from reading 2, but it's in a different position. So the angels here are supporting you and helping you move through this and process this. And this is interesting because what I was feeling, that excitement, that something is emerging from within, Spirit's reminding you that the universe is within you, that expansion, that unlimited, infinite potential of creation of the universe is within you. But it kind of embodies that mysterious unknown that we get from the energy of the moon, and that it can come with all the darkness, all the light, but it's just about the brilliance that is creation, that is spirit, and that is you. And I'm getting a message around you as the example of the paradox, right? Like, we all are perfectly imperfect, that we all are healing and healers, that we are all unique individuals, but we are all the same and from the same source. So it's interesting, we have no. We have wait, postpone, pause, say no. And I feel that this is for you right now. I just heard the saying, come to Jesus. That this may be a come to Jesus moment, and you are putting an end to something. This almost feels like, okay, yes, something is winding down, but it's like you're putting a stop to it. And that you have this power, this ability, this say in your life, and that you need a timeout. You need a break from this. And especially with the moon, it's like, I feel like you need a breather. And that's what the moon is offering you, some of that stillness. It's like, though the sun is peeking in, that the sun is beginning to rise, there is this really abundant, fruitful time and space of night, and the discoveries that can be made in the moonlight. And so it's seeing the darkness as an opportunity for learning, for growth, for it's like you're gaining an experience of something, and it's allowing something to kind of percolate and come up as like an epiphany, as a realization within. And we have mirror. Who or what is triggering you? So that could be, this situation, that whatever it is that you're dealing with, that there's an aspect of it that feels out of control, as in there's an external like trigger, but Spirit is helping you to see what is being triggered within you, right? Because there has to be something within that is responding to that external stimulus, if that makes sense. I hope so. That if you can let go of the hold that that internal aspect has on you, that it doesn't then just ignite and spring into something that creates this state within you, whatever that is, that anxiety, that stress, the sadness, turmoil, internal turmoil, whatever it is for you, that if it can be released of its tie to the external trigger, you've taken control. You've cut that off. So again, it is taking your power back. Reading 3, which is a message that has come up in each reading. That this is about taking your power back in some way and having a new perspective or a new understanding or realization come to light. Okay, we have, I am willing to see my sameness with others. This opens my awareness to oneness. That is funny because I was just getting that sense of like we are all individuals, yet we are all the same. We are all one. And so that is potentially a challenge here for you to, particularly if you are being triggered by other people, you are realizing, hey, there's something within me that is the same, that is responding to this other person or situation. And so that is a realization of the good and the bad, right? It's not that being the same and being one is necessarily, healthy at all times, right? But it's coming into that realization from a place of empowerment rather than I'm destined to be living like this, experiencing this forever because I'm just always going to be like this. This experience saying no, like you are on this path of transformation and change and exploring your soul in a way that, other people may not be around you. And that's what's causing some difficulty, is what I'm feeling. And I do feel like boundaries are important, right? With no, say no. Like that is setting a boundary with yourself and with others, right? If you need to say no to yourself, and that can be positive, to say, no, I'm not going to go there today. I'm not going to go there today. It's not that I refuse to process or heal or, just, it's everything in moderation and within reason. And there's no reason to rush, right? That you're allowed to take a pause. And I love this. I breathe calmly and easily. I am safe in this moment. Yeah. And you're just coming back to yourself, to your higher self, asking your higher self to come in along with the angels. Very intentionally, you're making contact with your soul, right? The aspect of your soul that is your higher self, that can see from the other side and can speak with you through your subconscious. That's where your intuition comes from. And I do feel this is a time for you to come back. When you're breathing, you're coming back to your body and you're allowing your body to begin to express itself at a deeper level. You're feeling your instincts, your intuition, which it's also about, what you fear or what you desire, right? Again, it's the paradox. It's neither good or bad. And that has been somewhat of a theme, as like being neutral, that there's not necessarily one way or no way, right? It's not good or bad. It's not about that. It's more about neutrality and being empowered and seeing that something can be good and you can walk away from it. It's about realizing that sometimes the darkness does contain the light too. And it's a difficult message that's been coming through today, but it's needed. And that Spirit's saying you are held. You are seen, you are held, and you are supported in this process. So we have Shambhala initiations, retreating to recharge, trusting in the process, Dharma. Okay. So I love that about recharging. And I'm going to read from the book. Shambhala, also known as Shangri-La, is a city of light said to be hidden somewhere in the Himalayas near Tibet. According to Theosophical teachings, this etheric retreat is where we can come into contact with some of the greatest spiritual adepts, enlightened teachers, and divine masters to ever walk the earth. In Buddhism and Hinduism, Shambhala is said to be the home of the god Shiva and of Buddha's enlightened beings. And in the Bon tradition, every year, thousands make a pilgrimage to Mount Kailash. I think that's how it's said, Kailash. The supposed location of the hidden city, as this is said to bring good fortune. And remember, we had the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. Good fortune. We can visit the etheric retreat of Shambhala during the dream state, astral travel, and meditation. If you feel it is calling you, or that the energies of this gateway seem familiar, you have been there before. The golden temple of Shambhala sits in the heart of the Himalayas, between the physical and non-physical, and is said to appear to seekers who are ready to expand their awareness. It is the sacred energetic temple of all enlightened masters, particularly those who are connected to the Eastern traditions. They form a great galactic and universal council of elders who support the turning of the wheel of Dharma. Dharma is a Sanskrit word that relates to the unfolding of our life path. Again, that wheel, the wheel of Dharma, the wheel of fortune, there is an unfolding, there's a turning here. With your hands in the prayer position, imagine yourself surrounded by golden light. Say, great masters and elders of Shambhala, thank you for helping me remember my Dharma so that I can have an enlightened awareness of the worlds. When things quieten down in your life, know that this isn't a failure, but an opportunity to retreat and recharge. In the busyness of the physical world, our spirit is often playing catch up with our body, to the point that it gets used to being overactive and overworked. When the great masters of Shambhala come to you, they are encouraging you to take time to be away from the outer world and dive into the inner world. If you have been moving full speed ahead, this gateway encourages you to slow down and retreat. Take time to gather your energy. Spend time in meditation and reflection in order to gain a clearer awareness of your current situation. You will uncover many insights and gifts during this period. Realize that there is a master awakening within. That is exciting. Reading 3. Yeah, there is this exciting awakening energy that something's coming up to the surface. It's a soul realization. Again, you're being called into that inner work, exploring the subconscious, tapping in intuitively and trusting that this time that you are facing what feels like a decision to end something. You're really ending suffering. Whatever has been bothering you, what has been a burden on you mentally, what's been taxing you and has been affecting your health and taking its toll, that it is time to allow that wheel to turn. And I feel I just saw like a Ferris wheel. It's like you can get off the ride for a little bit. You don't have to be stuck on it the whole time. It's like you're allowed to take a break, hop back on, come back at a different time. It's a new perspective. And it's not about judgment and shame about like you have to do it in a certain amount of time or it has to be a certain way. And your guides, your angels are supporting you in this. And you're coming out refreshed and recharged and ready to jump into the vast universe. So I hope this reading was helpful for you. Reading 3, I appreciate you for being here. If you enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, then please subscribe. I wish you all the best. I give you my love. Until next time, bye, Reading 3.